Hey peeps, Naisha here, and welcome to another video. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. It's nice to have you back again. Today, I'm going to just do a story time about two, um, I was like, okay, like it's complicated. It is a story time, but about one of them is I'm still cool with, and the other one is an ex-friend of mine. But yeah, um and so basically, if you don't know, let me just jump let me just give you a few details. If you well, I don't think most people know, but there are like websites where you could role play different characters. As a matter of fact, um for the story time, I decided to show you what one of these website will look like. This isn't the website that I role play on, but this is just one that you can role play on. And there's many of these. Um, there's Harry Potter ones. There's um, Hunger Games. Game of Thrones. Um, I want to say even different books as well. I know there was a House of Night one. I don't know if I don't know if that one's still up, but there's a lot of Harry Potter role playing websites. Supernatural, Twilight, Star Wars, like you name them. There's also Slice of Life where it's just like, you just again, you know what Slice of Life is. Like you just role playing regular life and basically that. So again, there's so many role playing websites. And so I was on the first role playing website I was on was Harry Potter, of course. And I was on, I want to say two of them. Yeah, there was two Harry Potter sites that I was on. Um and the second one, I'm gonna talk about the second one. Let me know if you want a story time on the first Harry Potter website, role playing website that I role play on, only because let me tell you, that one that one was a trip and a half. There was so much stuff that was going on, and I didn't even realize it was going on until like I was told certain things, and I also saw certain things myself as well. But like I could get into that in another video. Just let me know if you guys want that. But back to this one. So the second Harry Potter site that I was on, I'm gonna just say HP2. So I was on HP2, and um the people on this site, some of them had left the first Harry Potter site that I was on, and they came here because again there was a drama that I didn't realize until like again the um the creators, like the admins that started HP2, into like, they told me and explained to me what happened. I was like, dang, okay. But anyway, so I'm on HP2, and I basically am cool with like again the admins, and then some of the people again that was on HP1 that's not on HP2. So I'm cool with them and things like that. And I also like meet new people on here too. Like we also use Discord. Um yeah, as like, to talk, and not only to talk but like because like with role playing websites, um what you're basically doing is you and another person, yeah, basically creating mini stories together and things like that. Like, again, you would have to like um go on these role playing websites to see what I'm talking about. Like you'll see like what I'm saying if you like go on one of these and things like that. But anyway, so again, like I said, now you can like message on these role playing website, but like this was a time where like Discord was popular, and so like even though we also chat on like the actual website, we still like we mainly did most of our chat on Discord. So and so like I said, met new people. There's two people in particular that the story is going to be about. A and B. A is going to be the girl and B is going to be the boy with a guy. Um and so I like, meet A and B and they seem pretty cool. A, if I'm not mistaken, is like around my age and stuff like that. And B, he is like the one that's like much younger. So I want to say me and A at that time, because like it was a while back, me and A were like, I would say 26 to 27, and B would be like either 20 to 23 and things like that. Like, yeah, it would be on that level. And so about A, I think I know she had a child, but she also had a husband, and apparently they was going through some like rough patch. Cause like it seemed like one minute they were good, and the next minute it wasn't. It was like extreme crazy, and I was like, dang, okay, like it was just horrible because like again they seemed to be like doing good at one point, and I don't know all the details with that. Well, I feel like I did know the details. I just forgot. I'm gonna be honest. I quickly forgot. But anywho, back to A and B. So me, A and B, like we start having like a close friendship. Like I'm getting closer to them. Like I'm also closer to like another person that was on here, um, on the site as well. However, but like me, A and B, we had like a little like group going on. It wasn't anything click or anything like that because we still post with other people, but I would like role play with them a lot more, mainly because they were more active. Um, because other people on the role playing website, sometimes they would post and then other times it would be like a week or two later and things like that. And with A and B, they used to post me like back to back to back to back to the point where we were finishing something like a whole bunch of our threads, which I thought was cool. But anyway, so we got closer as friends. Like basically everybody on that Discord server got close. But like again, A and B got even closer. Like they became like best friends and things like that. And um and like I said, I got close with them too. They consider me like a close friend. I don't Yeah, not really like almost best friend, but not quite there. Like again, I was one of their close friends because yeah, I was closer to them than like the other people on the server. So anywho, I noticed that B was starting to get a little too attached to A. Like at first everything seemed cool, but I just noticed he started to get a little bit too attached. Mainly because um we used to have like movie nights and game nights on the server as well. Like we play Jack in the Box. Um we would watch movies together, especially on Netflix. And there was another website that we would watch movies on. Like I remember the first movie that we all watched together was what's that movie with Noah? I can't think of his last name. It starts with a C though. I can't pronounce it. Noah and I forgot that. Oh my goodness, I forgot her name. To All the Boys, something. But yeah, that was basically the what would it be the prequel? Yeah, I want to say the prequel to like um Katie, not Katie, Kitty XOXO. I don't know, but basically, just know it was it was a cutesy movie in my opinion. It was a good one too. I enjoy it, but like yeah, that was one of the first movies, and again we started having more of them and things like that. However, there was sometimes where some of us couldn't watch the movie because like either we were tired, like different time zones, working, all that nature. And so sometimes A and B will watch stuff together. And again, like I said, A and B got closer. However, A actually, you know, she just, thinking this is just a friendship and things like that. And B, it was a friendship to him. However, he did develop feelings, which I ain't gonna lie. I was like, no, because here's the thing. Um, B had told us one time that he did develop feelings for a female best friend of his one time, and they had a horrible fallout, and he described it. I was like, oh wow. It was downright horrible. I can't remember like well no, let me stop that line. The fallout basically like he basically confessing, his feelings to her and she rejected him and yeah, he didn't take it well from what he said and stuff like that. Like, I ain't gonna lie. B, cause like I'm still cool with B. Um, he's doing a whole lot better, by the way. But like around this time, B, like he had a lot of trauma. Like I'm not even going to sit there and lie. He had a whole lot of trauma. It's not even funny. From like what he told me about like the church to like when it came to school, like back then for him, like I said, it was a whole lot of trauma. It was very sad. And it's like, I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to tell him at the time, like, maybe you should get therapy and stuff like that because he was on medication. Well, that's what he said. But yeah, it's like, you need to talk this out because there's a whole lot of trauma going on and yeah, we don't need you to like, have a have a bad reaction and things like that to anything. Like we don't need you to be triggered by anything and stuff like that. So anywho, and I want to say what started the whole crush. I forgot what started the whole. I'm thinking like because like everybody on this server, like we seen pictures of like each other and things like that. So and because not only that, because like some of us, we friends on Instagram, on Facebook. I'm still friends with B on Facebook. Um, and some of the other people on, again, Facebook and Instagram as well. So yeah, it was like we saw each other, like, we knew how each other looked and stuff like that. And I want to say, um, A gave off like a goth type of look and things like that. And B always said that he was a sucker for like a goth chick and stuff like that. And she gave off that vibe and stuff like that. However, she's married. And so, um, like when he said like he like was developing crush, because I know he told me that at first. I was like, no, 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 no. Let's not develop a crush, because with B, again, he's a like I, again, like when he talked about like that crush he had on his best friend, it was like serious. I know I'm probably like missing some details because again, it was a while back, but like again, like he would do the most, and it started to show when it came to A. One of the things that happened, and I'm sorry if I'm taking so long to explain, but basically one of the things that happened is I remember it was like nighttime and stuff like that. I I don't know. It was like one day I just wasn't in the mood. Like I think I was like sleepy. Yeah, I was sleepy. So I would give one answers because like A had she was talking to me about something. I was like, like, I'm like, okay, what's up? Yeah, okay, that's what's up. Like, not one word answer. Like, some of it, most of them was one word, but like, it would just be short answers. And I guess she thought I was mad at her, which was funny because I was giving everybody the same, like, I was talking to everybody like that. It's like no one, I wasn't even mad at anything like that. I know because like one of friends, I'm gonna call her Puff. She basically, I mean, she was like, "Hey, you good?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, just sleeping." She's like, "Oh yeah, I understand," because like it just was one of those days, just sleeping. However, A took it to heart, which I found very funny because I was like, what? Why are you taking this to heart? Like, I'm just sleepy. It's like, girl, we be talking like all the time. So it's like, why are you taking this to heart? But apparently she told B because B thought he was checking me. I kid you not. He basically got on my case and was like, you shouldn't be talking to A that way. You shouldn't be treating A that way and da 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 da. I was like, B, this ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You know. You're not gonna talk to me in type of way because I will cuss you out. I will hurt your feelings. I'm vindictive. Don't do that. Like, that's what I told him. I was like, what? And I'm not gonna lie, at that time I was very vindictive. I was very vindictive. Like, not now anymore, but I was very vindictive at that moment because I'm the type of person like, oh, I will want to cut you deep. Like, I will want you to know that you can't mess with me. You can't. I'm not like these other people you can mess. No, 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 no. You you gonna feel some type of way. Um and stuff like that. So, and because of what he said, I got on her case because I was like, hey, I told you I was sleepy. Why are you telling B that I'm treating you some type of way? And he getting upset with me and he called himself trying to check me. I was like, you, because like, I was like, you better, you better like unsick your dog on me because that's what he was acting like at the time. Like, you better unsick your dog on me because I'm not the one to be checked, because again, I will go there. Like, he wants to go low, I will go even lower. Like, he don't want that. Like, no. Mm-mm. 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 And she was like, oh my goodness, like, because like again, we had cleared it up, and I guess she told him, and he still did what he did. But like, she was like, I'm so sorry. She was like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why he was coming to you like that. Because basically, she just asked him, like, is everything going on with me? Because um, I knew B a lot longer than, basically, me and B knew each other a lot longer than we knew A. So because of that, A decided to ask B, like, is everything okay with me? Because like, me and B, we were close and stuff like that. And so um that's when he decided to try to go off on me, and I was like, I shut that down, because I was like, oh no, you're not about to do that. You're not about, no, 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 no. You're not about to do that with me. You can do that with somebody else, but not with me. Absolutely not. And so, A was like, apologetic, because again, she only asked him like what was going on with me. Because again, I was giving her short answers. I really wasn't, my usual, like, happy, cheery, bubbly self and stuff like that. And yeah, and he actually apologized, and I told him, "Thank you for the apology, but please don't do that again. Like, please don't do that again. And I'm gonna need for you to not get. I'm gonna need for you to unattach yourself to A, because I see what's going on here. Cause like, I ain't gonna lie, when he basically got on my case because of her, I was like, oh yeah, no, because again, I did know him longer, and so it's like, yeah, nah, dude, you can't. Please, no, 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 we can't do this again, and stuff like that. And he was like, I know, I'm trying my best. I was like, are you? Well, I didn't tell him that. I was thinking that, like, are you doing your best? Because again, you're getting on me for like me being human, and just like, because again, sometimes we have days where we just like meh, are sleepy and stuff like that. We just don't feel like talking and stuff. So yeah. So again, time goes on. Again, they're getting closer and things like that. And um I noticed that A, sometimes she would try to distance herself from B. Like, I could tell. And she would even tell me about it. And it was mainly because B would always go to her about every single little problem he had. Like, would just tell her everything about his day. Especially like, and not only that, but like, again, he had a whole lot of trauma, not to mention, um, I want to say he had depression, anxiety, I want to say bipolar as well. Like, yeah, he had a few mental disorders. And again, he would like, again, like I said, instead of like, trying to find a therapist, because he actually could, um, he decided to use A as his therapist, and just lay all the heavy stuff on her. And trust me, he had did that to me one time, and I told him straight up, I was like, I don't mind being here for you. I really don't. However, you have to do me a favor. I don't mind you telling me the heavy stuff, like, because I really didn't. However, we can't do this every day. Like, you can't give me heavy, 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 heavy every day. Like, it can't be like Monday heavy, Tuesday heavy, Wednesday heavy. Like, no, Monday heavy, and then maybe the next week, maybe Friday, you decide to give me some other heavy stuff. But he would always just vent to her and just lay everything out on her, and that would drain her, where she would basically tell me some of the things he said and stuff like that. And of course, I didn't go back to him or anything like that, because no, that's not what it was. It was just like I said, she was just telling me this stuff to vent, not to like gossip or to talk behind anybody back. Also, she wanted advice and stuff like that. And I'm gonna be honest, I was like, yo, you just gonna have to tell him like what you telling me, how it's making you feel. Like, if him telling you all this heavy stuff, if it's making you feel heavy, if it's draining you, making you feel some type of way, a negative way at that, then you should go ahead and be honest with him and be like, hey, like, I know I'm your friend and things like that, and I'm honored that you chose me to um tell all the things, you feel comfortable and safe with me. That's, awesome. However, like, this is also affecting me as well and stuff like that. So, and she said she would try, but like he would get in his feelings. I was like, and yeah, and he did that a whole lot. And oh my goodness, it got so bad because, like, again, there was a time where and her ex husband now, but like her husband, they got into it and stuff like that. And I want to say they was separated and about to get divorced and stuff like that. It seemed like there was some stuff going on her end. But anyway, around that time, there was another person that had come on the HP2 site. I'm gonna call him L. And he was pretty cool. Like, he was a pretty cool dude. However, I could tell that, like, from his voice and his looks as well, I could tell like he was A type. Like, I could straight up tell. And then like the way they would flirt, it would just be something serious. And like I said, I think this was when she was separated or divorced. It was one of those. I want to say separated, but like, and they would flirt and stuff like that. And it would be funny to see and stuff like that, because again, L, he was kind of flirtatious with like, basically, I would say like most of the women on the site and stuff like that, but he was more flirtatious with A and stuff like that. And their chemistry, it seemed like it was through the roof. And I was like, okay. And then not only that, but they was close. Like, they was in the same state. I want to say it's like an hour away from each other and things like that, because most of everybody on the site was in different states or different countries and stuff like that. Like, for example, B, he was from Canada. And I wanna say A, she was in one of the southern states. I forgot which one. But yeah, she was in one of the southern states. And so, and same with L as well. And again, like, both of them Again, A and L, like, you could tell. So there was we had movie night, right? And I remember this movie night like it was yesterday because I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to cuss him out. I wanted to cuss B out. Okay, so it was me, A, B, L, and Puff. We was watching some movie, right? And I want to say there was also C was in the mix. C, sometimes we watch stuff as well, but like we was watching some movie. I think it was an action pack. Yeah, I think it was like either an action pack movie or a scare movie. You know what? I think it was a scare movie because I kept saying hell no. So I think it was a scare movie. So anywho, um, we're watching and like A tells me because yeah, I want to say before. Yeah, I want to say before we watched the movie, A warned me, and I want to say Puff as well. But I know I got the warning first. Well, not first, but I got the warning. But she warned me. She was like, hey, just want to let you know, B is drinking. I was like, he drinking? Oh my goodness. And I roll my eyes because, sometimes B do drink, but when B drinks, he do too much. He say too much. He gets on your nerves, and then once someone tells him like what he does, then he apologizes and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And I'm thinking to myself, oh. So yeah, he apparently he's drinking, and you could tell because he's saying stuff, he's taking shots at A and L, though L, I don't think he was paying attention. Like L didn't pay no mind to it, but you could tell he was taking shots and things like that. And then I was saying something like, just delaying the move, and he said something rude to me, and I was like, oh, yeah, we're gonna have to talk about this. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about this because this is the second time you done did this. The second time, and you know what? I'm trying to be very forgiving, but you're making it kind of hard and stuff like that. But yeah, he was being a bit too much to the point where left. And of course, he got worse because he kept drinking. And I was like, yeah, you know what? He keeps drinking. He keeps, like, you could tell that he's drunk. And of course, he's getting into his feelings. And I was like, okay, this ain't, because, like, after that scary movie, we watch an action packed movie. Yeah, that's what happened. We watch another movie after that. And I was like, he's getting a little bit too emotional. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to get off. And so that's what I did. And I actually told Lance straight up. I was like, hey, like, you a cool dude and stuff like that. But the main, because I want to say Puff already knew why I was leaving because we was like messaging each other while the movies was on. Because we was like, yeah, he was just doing the most. He was being obnoxious, all of it. Like, he was just doing the most. And so I was letting L know because L was kind of confused. He was like, dang, another person leaving and stuff like that because she just, said bye and stuff like that. And I was about to go as well. And he was like, dang, like, what's going on? Like, and so I just like messaged him and told him like, hey, it's not you. It's just that B is doing a little bit too much. And he was like, oh, I noticed that, but I just thought it was because he was, drunk. And I was like, oh yeah, it is because he's drunk. It's something else too. But well, I didn't tell him it was something else. I was thinking that. Anywho, but yeah, I was just thinking. And so after that, um, I had a talk with B again. I was like, B, yeah, you can't be doing that. And you also called the attitude with me. I ain't appreciate that. You just gonna get cussed out. And like, and he was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I was like, look, you keep saying you sorry, but you're not doing anything about it. Can you, like, I'm gonna need for you to distance yourself. And he's like, I'm trying, but I can't. I was like, what you mean you can't? You act like A is your forever, like, person, like your forever partner. No, no, she's not. First of all, she's dealing with marital issues. Marital. Marital? Marital? Yeah, marital. Sorry. Oh my goodness. I can't talk. But she's dealing with issues with her marriage and things like that. And you want to sit here and try to have, like, what? Just you just want to be with her. I'm thinking, like, and then not to mention you are young, because again, she was like around 26, 27, and he was like 21 or 22, and she was like not into that. She at least wanted to date someone um maybe a year younger than her, but not like young. And so it seemed like, that I want to say that did upset him, but like he understood. And not only that, but like A and B, again, they kept doing a whole lot of stuff together. And I kept telling her, I was like, hey, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if you know this, but B got a crush on you. Like, he not going to do nothing about it. But unfortunately, you going to have to do something about it, because this is going to be a little bit too much. Because not only are y'all watching movies alone together, y'all also chatting alone together. Because again, it used to be a group thing, but again, they would chat and do their own thing. And then not only that, but there was other role-playing websites that they were on together. And so I'm like, oh, like he's getting a little bit too attached to you. And he's not going to listen to me. Matter of fact, I kept telling him, like, hey, B, I'm cool with you. Like, I can see you like a friend, and I care about your well-being. I'm going to need for you to distance yourself, because I'm seeing that this crush is doing you in. Like, I'm sorry, but like he's getting into his feelings a whole lot. So it's like, yeah, you're going to have to distance yourself. And he not even trying to listen and stuff like that. And so I basically told A my concerns, and she had the same concerns that I had. And I was like, yeah, you're gonna have to distance yourself. And also, y'all can't have like you and him hang out. It has to be a group thing, because yeah, he's getting a little bit too attached. And again, like I said, she had her breaking point, and like, and I just remember there was a moment where I told everybody that I'm taking like either a week off. Yeah, I took a week off. I took a week off from role playing, and just off the Discord all together and stuff like that. Cause like I forgot what was going on. No, nothing was going on. I was just taking a break and stuff like that. Just from, my online friends. And then I come back. And I want to say it's like a Saturday. Yeah, I come back, it's a Saturday. And A tells me like she and B are no longer friends and things like that. I was like, what happened? And basically, like, again, he kept doing the same thing that she told me, which was like, just laying all the heavy stuff on her, and also basically wanting to do everything with her, and also getting jealous. Yeah, and he was also getting jealous of like her having other role playing partners, which again, it's a given because you're on a role playing website. You're going to role play with more than one person. Okay? You really are. And stuff like that. And so, of course, she's like, I want to say, yeah, she's like, I'm trying to, yeah, she was like, I forgot what I was about to say. But anyway, she's just like, yeah, like, I forgot how she said it, but basically, um, it just got too much for her. And then not to mention, she and Lance basically somewhere along the lines they hooked up, yeah, got to get hooked up. Apparently B found out and B basically let her have it, was calling her a whore and stuff. And then there was even time where he basically messaged her husband and telling her husband like what happened between her and Elle and stuff. He was just crossing the line a little bit too much, and so she had to cut him off. And basically, he was banned from like the websites that they won and stuff like that. And I think he was because he left HP2 in the first place. Like he left, but but yeah, like yeah, she had to cut him off, and then he did the unthinkable. After she cut him off, and they had like a whole argument and things like that. Um, she, I want to say, what she do? She basically, no, he basically, I'm talking about him. He basically pretended. He basically, I don't want to say it, but he basically made it seem like he had harmed himself to the point that he was no longer on Earth, and made it seem like he wasn't on Earth anymore. And so, and I'm only saying like that because, like, I ain't trying to get this video taken down. But yeah. And so, and of course, that was a shock for me and A, but then we find out that like he's still alive. He just wanted to make a clean break in the friendship. And I was like, no, that's not how you do it. You do not do it like that. If you want clean break from the friendship, you just let us know, like, hey, we can't be friends. This is why, and da da da. Or you can just be like, we're no longer friends, and then just go our separate ways. But don't you dare use that that as an excuse, or like, I don't even know what he was trying to use, but I just thought like, no, 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 don't do that no more. Don't do that no more. Like, nah, for real. And stuff like that. And I was like, look, I'm still cool with you because again, he's a cool person. However, when it came to A, yeah, he wasn't. Like anybody else, he was cool. A, no, because again, he fell for her, which I was like, And I want to say that because of his fallout with A, he realized like he needed to get his ish together. And so, yeah, he ended up doing the things that needed to be done to get his ish together. And so far, he's doing okay. Like, again, I'm still in contact with him. Not in contact with A, though. And that's another story on its own. Let me know if you want that story. But that's all I have to say about A and B. Like, their friendship at first was cool, and then it went left like that quickly. And so, yeah, that's all I have to say about, A and B's friendship. Let me know down in the comments below. Ugh, blah. Sorry about that. Let me know down in the comments below if like you want another story time. And I apologize if this story time was long and stuff like that, because yeah, I could talk for hours. So yeah, I apologize for it being long, but thank you for sticking in, for this long. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. And also let me know, and it will also let me know if you enjoyed my videos and things like that. And until next time, see ya!